found just then. A tourist brochure for the Gold Coast. It was basic, an illustration of a beach with the curved lines of waves and the blurry shadows of surfers. The kind of job I enjoyed most. Simple, quick, clear, and well paid. No nonsense about improvising, about keeping your suggestions in mind. Just a simple, draw a fucking beach. After a while, I made a sandwich with the few ingredients left in the fridge and served myself my second coffee of the day, cold, without sugar. I was about to bring the cup to my lips when someone knocked at the door. I didn't usually get unannounced visitors, so I left the coffee on the counter with a frown. If I'd known in that moment what those few short raps would bring, maybe I wouldn't have opened up. Who am I trying to fool? I could never have turned my back on him. And it would have happened either way. Sooner, later. What does it matter? From the beginning, it feels like I was playing Russian roulette with a bullet in every chamber, and one of them was fated to go through my heart. I was still leaning my hand on the doorframe when I realised this was no courtesy call. I stepped aside to let Oliver come in. He was taciturn and serious. I followed him to the kitchen, asking what had happened. He ignored the coffee and opened the liquor cabinet, taking out a bottle of brandy. "Nice choice for a Tuesday morning," I said. "I've got a fucking problem." I waited without saying anything, still dressed in the bathing suit I'd donned when I got up. Oliver was wearing long pants and a tucked-in white t-shirt, the kind of thing I'd have sworn he'd never wear. "I don't know what I'm going to do. I keep thinking of alternatives, but I've tried them all, and I think I'm going to need you." He got my attention, mainly because Oliver never asked for favours, not even from me, his best friend since before he'd learned to ride a bike. He didn't when he was going through the worst moment in his life, and he rejected almost all the help I offered him, because he was proud, or because he thought he was bothering me, or because he wanted to show himself he could handle the situation, however difficult it was. Maybe for that very reason, I didn't hesitate. "You know I'll do whatever you need." Oliver downed his drink in one sip, left the glass in the sink, and stood there, leaning on his hands. "They're sending me to Sydney. It's temporary." What the fuck? I opened my eyes wide. 3 weeks a month for a year. They want me to oversee the new branch they're opening, and then come back once everything's stable. I'd like to reject the offer, but they're doubling my goddamn salary, Axel. And now I need it. For her. For everything. I watched him run a hand through his hair, nervous. "A year's a long time," I said. "I can't take her. I can't." What does that mean? Let's be honest. I knew perfectly well what that "I can't take her" implied, and my mouth went dry just then. Because I knew I couldn't say no. Not to the two people I care most about in the world. My family. Not the one you're born into. I had enough as far as that goes. But the family you choose. "I know what I'm asking you for is a sacrifice." It was. "But it's the only solution. I can't take her to Sydney now that she's already started school, especially with her missing last year. I can't pull her away from everything she knows right now. It would be too many changes. You're all we have left. Leaving her alone isn't an option. She's got anxiety, nightmares. She's not right. I need Leah to be herself again before she goes off to college next year." I rubbed the back of my neck, following Oliver's lead from a few minutes before and taking out the bottle of brandy. The shot warmed my throat. "When are you leaving?" I asked. "In a couple of weeks." Jesus, Oliver. Chapter 2. Axel. I had just turned 7 when my father got the pink slip and we moved to a bohemian town called Byron Bay. Before then, we'd always lived in Melbourne, on the 3rd floor of an apartment block. When we got to our new home, it felt like a permanent vacation.